Right, on the talking point this evening, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi of the BJP will be joining us. Amitabh Dubey, spokesperson of the Congress. Smita Prakash, editor ANI. Rashid Kidwai, author. And Dr. Shashi Panja, Bengal minister, joining us. Let me start with Amitabh Dubey, because this is very similar to the notifications that were issued in 2009 and 2014. So why are you barking up the wrong tree, as it were?
So, Zaka, at one level, it's amusing that the kinds of words that many Indians would use to describe this government, Jumla Jivi, COVID spreader, Tanashahi, Notanki, are being considered unparliamentary. But on a more serious level, the issue is that these kinds of things, the ban on dharna and so on, they should be seen in the larger context as part of a very disturbing clampdown on dissent and free expression that's been happening in recent years. We've fallen in the World Freedom Index to 150. We're 119th on the Human Freedom Index, and a very respected global think tank now describes us as an electoral autocracy rather than an electoral democracy. Now, if you look at the proceedings of parliaments, there are many instances over the years of Congress leaders not being allowed to speak, having their mics switched off. From 2014 to 2021, there are many cases, TV cameras being switched off. You will recall that in December 2020, Shri Rahul Gandhi was prevented from speaking at the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defense on the crisis in Eastern Ladakh, on the Chinese aggression. And the chairman of the committee, who was from the BJP, said, "Aapko bolne nahi denge," and wanted to have a discussion on ceremonial army uniforms.
No, but Mr. Dubey, the fact of the matter is, no matter how much of an opposition you have to this government and this party, the ruling party, seems to win election after election. And whether you like it or not, they are using that as validation of their policies, as validation of whatever they believe in, whatever the prescribed policies of this government are.
Zaka, the role of parliament is not to enable a brute majority to function untrammeled. The role of parliament is to create an institution where a structured discussion and debate happens. There are very clear rules about this. Whoever has a majority, they have to stick to the institutional rules which are put in there by the Constitution of India. What we've seen in the last few years is bills being rammed through by brute majority with no discussion, no reference to a standing committee. The percentage of bills that are being discussed in committee has gone down from 60-70% during the UPA to around 20% under this government.
Okay.
And, Parliament is not a Delhi ki Sultanate forum to applaud what the Sultan says. You have to have deliberation, you have to do discussion. And whenever you actually allow a high quality of the debate to happen, you see what a high quality of debate is there from all sides of the
Let me ask Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi of the BJP. He's now joining us. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, कांग्रेस का मानना ये है कि आप लोगों ने मतलब अनपार्लियामेंट्री वर्ड्स में काफी सारी चीजें डाल दिए, बट बियॉन्ड दैट न अभी धरना नहीं हो सकता, हवन नहीं हो सकता, कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता इन पार्लियामेंट. You're basically, the opposition is reduced to, talking heads and nodding heads, everything in agreement with the government. Bataiye.
Now it is a very well-known established fact that this, the book of unparliamentary languages or words, it has been issued since 1954. And it uses to come up after a certain gap of years. From 2010 onwards, it comes every year. It is nothing but a compilation of data in which all the state assemblies and the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and even the Commonwealth parliaments, whosoever have suggested that at one point of the time or the other point of time, it has got as unparliamentary. I would like to give an example. Bankruptcy was unparliamentary, but the insolvency and bankruptcy code had come. It is illogical that you are saying that it has been banned. ये तो 2009 में कम्युनल बैन कर दिया था. कम्युनल वायलेंस पे 2020 में दिल्ली की कम्युनल वायलेंस पे डिस्कशन हुआ. It means कांग्रेस which has been totally out of any issue, तो कभी शेरों के मुंह में नजर आता है, आक्रामकता उनको ज्यादा नजर आती है और उनके बयानों में व्यर्थ की आक्रामकता ज्यादा नजर आने लगती है. Abhi, my friend from Congress party, Mr. Amitabh Dubey, was saying that Rahul Gandhi ji was prevented in the Standing Committee of Parliament, though these things which were discussed in the Standing Committee of Defense should not be divulged outside. But I am the member of the Defense Committee. And I am saying what exactly happened. When Rahul Gandhi ji has raised the issues, he was allowed, then he keep on asking questions. Then the chairman said, राहुल गांधी जी आप वैसे तो आते नहीं है मीटिंग में, जब भी आते हैं तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर देते हैं, क्योंकि प्रीवियसली दैट अराउंड 2 years he had not attended the meetings. Okay. When the issue was raised in the parliament, and then the issue was raised, and second thing he said कि ये जो एजेंडा होता है, it is decided the meeting in which your members were also present. If you want to alter the agenda, you go through the process. In the meeting, for this meeting, the agenda is already circulated. You cannot come in the meeting and say the agenda should be changed. So, what I am trying to say, Congress is in a habit of unnecessary creating an issue out of a non-issue, so is reflecting in the issue of this unparliamentary.
Okay.
And as far as this is concerned,
let
it's an established fact.
Sudhanshu, with your permission,
in every parliament session.
Fair enough. Let me go across to Smita Prakash. What the
One
BJP is saying is that this list of unparliamentary words has been a work in progress since 1959. There's nothing new about it. Yes, you could quibble about the fact that words like, Tana Shahi and Jumla Jivi and all that have been included this time around. That's a matter of debate. But the real issue is the opposition is saying that anything that is critical of this government is being put in the unparliamentary words list. Therefore, it can't be brought up in parliament. So basically, all the MPs are just going to nod their heads for whatever good this government has done.
Well, good or bad is a subjective thing that you will see, right? I mean, the opposition doesn't see it as good. So there is this whole narrative that democracy is dead, it is being stifled in the country, that there are no press interactions that the party has and that the leadership has. This is the narrative that the opposition, especially the Congress, has been peddling. Now, for this narrative, it needs constant refueling. Therefore, those who wish to peddle this narrative will pick on anything, whether it is something like the trivia about the teeth of the lions, the frown, the tail, the mustache of the lion, or else this latest brouhaha over the words. Now, you yourself have said, and I think Sudhanshu ji also gave a whole list as to whether this is something new and it's been there for a long time. I think even the Congress now today has not picked it up, nor has the opposition, about the words so much. Their problem now is about the dharna aspect which you said, that the parliament's new directive. So day before was the lion, yesterday was the words, and today it is about dharna. So all this is the same narrative, that this is all against democracy. Day before yesterday, it was that we were not invited for that ceremony. Yesterday was that words are being taken away. Today it is that we are not being allowed to have a dharna demonstrations in the presence of the parliament. Now, it was the directive that today, which was brought out, has been brought out in 2009 also. So I can well understand the opposition getting angered over this also, but there are places, and just half a kilometer away from the parliament is the place where dharna is always allowed to happen.
Yeah.
Now, you can do it out there, or you can do it under the Mahatma Gandhi statue and then oppose and of course this is not the BJP, mind you. This entire area is governed by the speaker and the house. So they are the ones who will take action. So they will be taken out, hauled away. It makes good television, it makes good publicity, and the narrative that democracy is being stifled.